What compels a person to build a home not just in a remote place, but in the heart of the planet's most extreme and prolonged darkness? In 2023, as the sun set over Svalbard for the last time, not to rise again for 4 months, John and Jane Doe embarked on an architectural odyssey. Their goal, to construct the Arctic Mosaic house, a revolutionary Igloo-Inspired dome, during the relentless polar winter. This wasn't merely a construction project. It was a battle against temperatures plummeting to 40 below, hurricane-force winds, and the profound psychological weight of perpetual night. Armed with cutting-edge sustainable technology and ancient survival principles, they set out to prove that human ingenuity could create a sanctuary of warmth and light at the top of the world. As the darkness deepened and the ice closed in, their ambitious blueprint was put to the ultimate test. They weren't just building walls against the cold. They were building a bastion against the void, a testament to resilience in a place where survival itself is an achievement. Could their dream withstand the crushing pressure of the planet's most unforgiving season? Or would the endless night swallow their vision whole? In the autumn of 2022, architects John and Jane Doe felt an irresistible pull toward the extreme. From their brightly lit studio in Oslo, they conceived the Arctic Mosaic house. It was not merely a structure, but a philosophical statement. Inspired by the timeless geometry of Inuit igloos, their design utilized cutting-edge, sustainable materials to create a home that could withstand the planet's harshest conditions. The blueprints detailed a geodesic dome, clad in photovoltaic tiles, designed to be built during the perpetual darkness of a Svalbard polar winter. After months of rigorous planning and navigating complex Arctic regulations, they secured the permit for a remote plot of land. Looking at the final, approved plans spread across their table, the sheer audacity of their ambition became a tangible presence in the room, a silent promise of the immense challenge that awaited them in the endless night. October 26, 2023. The last sliver of sun vanished below the Svalbard horizon, not to return for 4 months. This was the day John and Jane arrived. Their world shrank to the beams of their headlamps, carving cones of light out of the profound darkness. The first task was laying the foundation, a specialized thermal platform engineered to hover above the delicate permafrost, a footprint designed for minimal impact. The cold was a physical opponent, seeping through their high-tech gear and turning simple tasks into grueling challenges. Breath plumed in the frigid air like ghosts. Then came the moment of truth, hoisting the first prefabricated wall panel. As the section locked into place with a solid thud, it stood as a tiny, defiant monument against the immense, silent void of the polar night. The house had begun its ascent from the ice, a single piece of a complex puzzle. November brought the Pitarack. A brutal, gravitational wind unique to the polar regions descended from the ice caps, transforming the landscape into a maelstrom of ice and fury. Temperatures plunged to a staggering -40 degrees Celsius. Construction halted. The partially finished Mosaic house, a skeleton of its future self, was assaulted by hurricane-force gusts. John and Jane took refuge in their fortified supply container, listening to the symphony of the storm, a terrifying howl that tested every weld and seam of their temporary shelter. During the siege, a critical hydraulic pump on their crane froze solid, its fluid thickening to sludge. The timeline, once a precise calculation, was now in jeopardy. They were trapped, forced to innovate with frozen fingers and dwindling morale, or watch their dream be torn apart by the relentless wind. The storm broke, leaving behind a world of sculpted snow and profound silence. It was a race. Working with renewed urgency, John and Jane maneuvered the final exterior panels into place. The last piece, a triangular skylight, was sealed, and the sound of the outside world changed instantly. The relentless, piercing wind became a distant, muffled hum. A profound shift occurred. They were no longer outside, fighting the elements. They were inside, protected by them. They activated the geothermal heating system. Slowly, miraculously, warmth began to permeate the space. For the first time in weeks, they unzipped their heavy parkas, the air on their skin no longer a threat. Standing amidst the organized chaos of their unfinished interior, they looked out a triple-paned window at the hostile Arctic landscape. The house was no longer a project, it was now their shield, a bubble of life in the frozen expanse. February 15, 2024. After 112 days of darkness, a faint line of orange bled across the horizon. The polar night was ending. Inside the Mosaic house, the interior was complete, a testament to minimalist design and hyper-functional living. As the sun's first rays crested the distant mountains, they struck the house's exterior. The custom-made photovoltaic tiles, designed to mimic an iridescent mosaic, caught the light, shattering it into a dazzling spectacle of color that danced across the pristine snow. The house was no longer an intruder. It was an active participant in the landscape, a partner to the returning sun. From their living area, mugs of warm liquid in hand, John and Jane watched the dawn of a new day.